This is a short clip of my life, a look into my home, a look into the making of who I am today. I'm shaped by all that surrounds me. Work. This is a testament to my Asian American identity. These are the books that have shaped me, and the other books that have shaped me, and all speak to who I am as a person today. This is the gift of knowledge. Because ultimately it is literature that allowed me to realize I am the woman warrior.
Aaliyah, what are your thoughts about the stereotype that only Asians can play badminton?
Well, to start off, stereotype by definition is a generalization of a small group of people part of a greater population. So to say that only Asians are good at badminton is, for lack of a better word, incorrect. Because at the end of the day, badminton has been and will always be a sport. And just like any other sport, as long as you're willing to dedicate your time and energy, and in the case of buying equipment, proper clothing, for safety measures, money, then anyone in any sport, including badminton, for Asians and non-Asians, are capable of not only getting better, but getting good.
And how has this stereotype influenced your life?
For starters, I am not 100% Asian. I am half Taiwanese and half Korean. And to say that any stereotype has affected my life is not incorrect. Stereotypes in general my entire life have been imposed on me, where people would either expect something of me or underestimate me. And I feel like you shouldn't judge a book by its cover, and that you have to read what's inside to fully understand it.
Thank you, Aaliyah.
feel the pressure. Yeah, I feel the pressure when I'm the one who speaks in the voice of my ancestors. And the homies out on Western are saying to represent us. So I'm forever tatted, fuck a temporary henna. It's a privilege to pursue my happiness, cause my crew got a list of things to do before dreaming about the future. Running the family business, a handling father's sickness, all the sacrifices given, I'm doing this all for you. It's a letter to my homies, you will never have to owe me. Buying bottles, karaoke with a couple model homies. Fucked up holy stuffing you, your wrist will have a rollie. Trying to write a happy ending to the story. I guess this is a going away letter. I ain't coming back to town till I'm doing like way better. Don't be offended when phone calls go to voicemail. The flight attendant asked me to turn it off, that's real. I'm bringing gold to my city, who's with me? Gold watches for my people, did you miss me? Bought them all off the jeweler by the pound. A couple carats turned this bitch in a 24K town. I'm bringing gold to my city, who's with me? Gold watches for my people, did you miss me? Bought them all off the jeweler by the pound. A couple carats turned this bitch in a 24K town. Where'd you go? They asking me where I went. Gone for a couple months, but it feels like I barely left. Everybody is a statue that froze at the last step, and every weekend is a celebration of the past tense. My brothers with resolutions, my sisters with no excuses. I salute ya. Let's go and make some moments in the future. I ain't saying I'm Confucius, I'm confused as much as y'all. Another student of life, I just studied abroad. Normally I'd be on Normandy, but normal is done. It ain't about repping inside, but outside where you're from. When they're drunk, they yell it from the top of their lungs, but over drums, they'll hear it for generations to come. I guess this is a going away letter. I ain't coming back to town till I'm doing like way better. Don't be offended when phone calls go to voicemail. The flight attendant asked me to turn it off, that's real. 24K town, bringing gold to my city. I'm bringing gold to my city, who's with me? Gold watches for my people, did you miss me? Bought them all off the jeweler by the pound. A couple carats turned this bitch in a 24K town. I'm bringing gold to my city, who's with me? Gold watches for my people, did you miss me? Bought them all off the jeweler by the pound. Couple carats turned this bitch in a 24K town. Hey.
Wow.
我而家讀經啊，念經啊。
哦。
開荊棘，無上甚深密了法，百千萬劫能遭遇。我今見聞得受持，願解如來真實義。懺悔文，我是所作諸惡業，皆有無始貪嗔。唔好影我嚇。
哦。咩嚟㗎嘛？
豆腐，煎餃子。
咩豆腐啊？
乾煎豆腐。
中國菜啊？
係，椒鹽豆腐，快啲俾我出去。
阿爸，你做緊咩啊？
咩啊？
做緊咩啊？
睇啲書咯。
咩書啊？
雜誌咯。
咩雜誌啊？
咩雜誌嘅？
香港雜誌啊？OK。
When I was growing up. I know now that once I longed to be white. How, you ask? Let me tell you the ways. When I was growing up, people told me I was dark, and I believed my own darkness in the mirror, in my soul, my own narrow vision. When I was growing up, my sisters with fair skin got praised for their beauty, and I fell further, crushed between high walls. When I was growing up, I was proud of my English, my grammar, my spelling, fitting into the group of smart children, smart Chinese children, fitting in, belonging, getting in line. When I was growing up, I hungered for American food, American styles, coded white, and even to me, a child born of Chinese parents, Being Chinese was feeling foreign, was limiting, was un-American. When I was growing up, I felt ashamed of some yellow men, their small bones, their frail bodies. They're spitting on the streets, they're coughing, they're lying in sunless rooms, shooting themselves in the arms. When I was growing up, people would ask if I were Filipino, Polynesian, Portuguese. They named all colors except white, the shell of my soul, but not my rough, dark skin. When I was growing up, I felt dirty. I thought that God made white people clean, and no matter how much I bathed, I could not change. I could not shed my skin in the gray water. When I was growing up, I swore I would run away to purple mountains, houses by the sea with nothing over my head, with space to breathe, uncongested with yellow people in an area called Chinatown, in an area I later learned was a ghetto, one of many hearts of Asian America. I now know that once I longed to be white. How many more ways, you ask? Haven't I told you enough?
It's cold when you wake up in the morning. There is no heat. Mom is in the kitchen making congee, a favorite breakfast dish of yours. The floorboards are freezing, and your feet are going numb, and you shiver every few seconds. But there is warmth in the kitchen, and all that unpleasantness will go away very, very soon. A while after you finish eating, you want to eat again. You're craving something, but it's not congee. It's pancakes. So here we go. Ingredients come flying off the shelves. And you start to make the batter, but that's when the guilt hits you. You know how to make pancakes, but you don't know how to make congee. Your English is fine, but your Chinese is barely passable, just good enough to stave off prying relatives at family dinners. Your friends encourage you to try new things, things that pull you even farther away from the Chinese part of you. And by making pancakes right now, you're perpetuating that slow drift away from your Chinese identity. It's a part of you that you try to hold on to, especially when there are other things that pull you in another direction. America on a plate, those guys from Worth It said. Maybe this meal is representative too, of someone like you.
Learning about the protests surrounding the demolition of I-Hotel and the forced evictions of residents was incredibly empowering. I-Hotel, or International Hotel, was a residential building in San Francisco that housed many elderly or low-income Asian American tenants that had been living there for decades and formed a rich and tight-knit community in the building. In the 1970s, the city was undergoing a period of urban renewal, and the city planned to demolish the building to expand their business sector. Various groups banded together to protest the demolition and evictions. This was my first exposure to Asian American activism. The first time I realized that we can and have played a role in shaping American history. Before that, Asian American had always meant non-involvement to me. It had always been about constant movement, always migrating to a better life and never establishing roots anywhere. To me, Asian American meant immigrant stories. It meant Chinese school and dim sum on the weekends and countless trips to Flushing. It was international call cards and boxes of tea leaves stuffed into suitcases. It was never about America. Learning about the history of Asian American protests, I realized that we have the voice and the power to effect change, whether it be about housing rights, media representation, immigration policy, or anything else. We too are responsible for building up America, and we too have the ability to change it from within.
It's been a long time since I've practiced the piano. I stopped taking lessons after 8th grade, having passed all my practical exams. It's the classic story. My parents made me learn to play in kindergarten, and ever since then I've been diligently practicing. It was a bit different for me though. I didn't hate it and quit, nor did I continue playing and performing everywhere. I just wanted to play songs I enjoyed listening to. When I was younger, whenever I didn't feel like practicing my classical pieces, I would play the only other songs I knew, Christmas carols and video game music. I learned them by ear and mostly played Mario tunes or Zelda. They were light, carefree, simple, and iconic. After some of my classmates learned that I could do this, I really got into it. I started to actually practice them over and over again, trying to embellish the accompaniment or perfect some part. I liked that I stuck out from the mold of Asian Americans just playing classical music, wanting to be more interesting. This carried on to when I got my first iPod Touch and was introduced to mainstream pop music. I tried to learn all those songs I enjoyed listening to, and I always had fun playing them. I definitely attribute a part of this music exploration to my Asian American identity, trying to separate myself from the stereotypes that people have about Asians and playing the violin or piano. But it wasn't just getting the validation from playing popular songs, I also just genuinely enjoyed it more than classical pieces. Music is a part of my identity, and I don't really associate it with being Asian American anymore. Being Asian American is who I am, but that doesn't dictate everything I do. I'm happy just playing songs by ear, whether it be Bruno Mars or Mario. Bonus points if you recognize all the songs I played.
Now I can't find the key without you, and now your song is on repeat, and I'm dancing on to your heartbeat. And when you're gone, I feel it.